Greater West Bloomfield lauds itself as one of Michigan's best places to start and run a small business. And that aligns quite well with the information when you zoom out to look at Michigan from a bird's eye view. Our state recently ranked at number 6 in the country by CNBC amongst the best states in the union for businesses. How do these factors, that earned these honors for the state affect our businesses close to home? That's the big question for Jamar Bray from Oakland Thrive, who joins us now on the Splash Live. Jamar, thank you so much for being with us.
No, thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to it and, ready to talk about business.
Yeah, it's good news for businesses, I'd imagine, here in our community and throughout the state of Michigan. When you have a designation like this from a reputable organization like CNBC that says Michigan's among the top 10 states in the U.S. for businesses, how does that ultimately impact our small businesses and hometowns like Greater West Bloomfield?
Yeah, I think it gives you a clear indication that you're in the right place. As a entrepreneur and small business owners throughout, they oftentimes doubt themselves if, did I choose the right area or did I choose the right business to go into for the area? But even when you look at just how powerful the state is, and even locally, how we pour into our entrepreneurs, how we have different programs like Oakland Thrive, that's in Oakland County, and we have different programs throughout Wayne and Macomb County. So, and just locally in West Bloomfield, how Oakland Thrive, how we support our entrepreneurs to stay active in the community, and we have trainings and seminars and different resources. So I think just is really more or less the camaraderie that this community has built in order to build up the business community and continue to promote from within, continue to promote small business. And I think that's why you see this ranking come out, because the dedication to small businesses throughout our state.
In Michigan, jumping 3 spots from number 9 back in 2024. It was number 10 in 2023. It's the 4th time it's appeared in CNBC's top 10 states for businesses since it began doing this poll. Michigan also ranking 4th in the cost of doing business. All of these factors combining, Jamar, how do they set up businesses in our local area, especially those that are starting off, for having that early momentum that can be really critical to maintaining a small business for many years?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's really just getting entrenched into the community. There's a lot of different chambers and different resource partners that offer so much help, so you can promote your business, so you can start your business. I know with the West Bloomfield Chamber, there's a lot of events that they do for both startups and operational businesses. So I think when you look at how great the community is when you first start out, and it can be a struggle. Everyone knows when you first start a business, it's uncomfortable. But when you have resources out there, and when you have a team of people that is sitting there waiting for you, to really bolster your success, and I think that is really why you see so many people are starting and keeping businesses for years upon years, because of the longevity and their touch to the community.
Among the different factors that contributed to the rise in rankings from number 9 in 2024 to number 6 in 2025 from CNBC, infrastructure, workforce, quality of life, and as we mentioned, cost of doing business. Jamar, diving deeper into those details, you talk to these small businesses here in Oakland County and specifically here in Greater West Bloomfield. What do you think are some of those more direct factors that lead to Michigan being such a pleasant place for people to not only do business, but an economical place for people to start and maintain, and especially to grow their small businesses?
Yeah, and just to kind of just piggyback on just the resources that are available, but not only that, you see where a lot of people are starting to build a multiple different ways of doing business. You have people that's even doing trucking, and you have people it's so diverse here in Michigan, where in certain communities throughout, you'll see, one state is more dominated in this particular area or in this particular geographic. But when you see in the state of Michigan, and even locally in West Bloomfield, you see that this is a very retail-friendly city. And so when you look at how many people have retail and restaurants that are opening up locally. I mean, it is truly amazing. And I think the issue now, with a lot that's going on that's out of their control with anything that's overseas and trying to ship and everything. I think when also they take that factor out and see that there's partners within the community that they can have a supplier with, I think it's truly amazing. And just seeing the community come together, I think it's so easy for everyone to distance themselves and go into a silo and say, I'm in this particular business and I don't need help. The Greater West Bloomfield really believes in just helping each other in whatever way they can.
And it's all very sunny informational and information, and super welcome to have this sort of honor from a nationally reputed organization like CNBC, ranking Michigan in the top 10 states for businesses and just a stone's throw away from the top 5. But it's really tough to ignore other more recent information, particularly about unemployment when it comes to the state of Michigan. Those numbers not really been improving in recent months in particular, but small businesses with the economical successes that they can be having as a result of some of those factors that have led to Michigan being in the top 10 states for businesses, how maybe can they contribute to taking some of those people that are struggling to get back into the workforce and using their talent and their expertise to not only grow their business, but to give those people jobs that they're going to really have an opportunity to grow at?
And I definitely agree with you. I think using the talents that are in the community, and I think a lot of times, oftentimes businesses don't know. If I'm just sitting in the business and I'm sitting and I'm working on the business, I don't even know about the talent that is outside of, these 4 walls. But, partnering with the Michigan Works who can help you, find that talent. So when I say there's resources, there are plenty of resources. So you can identify those talents and partner with organizations as such. But I think it's more or less going to a deeper dive into really those silos that I mentioned, right? So, if you don't know what's in the community because you're not in the community as much as, doing networking or different events, you wouldn't know about the talent that's there. So I believe that a lot of businesses, when they take a step back and they think about, how can I really give back to my community? And it's really just partnering with the Michigan Works, like I mentioned, because I believe that they'll be able to find that talent for you and kind of foster that idea of bringing the community back together. And no one wants to be unemployed. I mean, it's too high out here. The cost of everything is way too high to be unemployed. So, whatever way that small businesses can really tap into the community to bring people back to work, I think is definitely what at Oakland Thrive we also foster as well.
Jamar Bray is with us from Oakland Thrive, West Bloomfield business consultant, joining us on the Splash Live. You can get more information on Oakland Thrive on their website, oaklandthrive.org, and how they can help your small business with some of these different helpful tools and tips right here in our community and around Oakland County. Jamar, there's so much talk about infrastructure playing such a big role in Michigan rising through these ranks, but when people think of infrastructure, they usually think about the basics. They think about pipelines. They think about especially roads, and there's going to be a huge debate about whether the roads are a source of the improvement here. But when we dive into these articles about why Michigan's rising the ranks in terms of business friendliness, that infrastructure really comes back to innovation, particularly on the technological side. How has Michigan sort of been on the forefront of new technologies, especially AI, but also with it being home to things like Automation Alley and so on? How does that play into Michigan's prospects for the present and the future in business?
I mean, it is huge. I mean, you look at, there's even a Project Diamond where, they're actually, helping people learn, 3D printing, and those people are starting to turn, what they thought was going to be a hobby into a full-time business with the 3D printing. So I believe that AI is starting to really, well, I would say programs like Automation Alley and different other programs are starting to really, really integrate with the people of how to learn about the AI change. AI is going to be here, and it's either you're gonna learn it or it's going to pass you by. And a lot of people you're seeing are jumping in that boat and really moving it into where their business can thrive off of AI. And of course, there's always a personal touch that you need to have. But when you have Automation Alley who's pouring into the community, and you have, Project Diamond, when you have those different programs throughout the community that is dedicated to teaching you about AI, instead of it being an enemy, it could be your friend. So I'm seeing that a lot in the local community, and it's really amazing to see the different innovation ideas that come from it.
Oakland Thrive's Jamar Bray joins us on the Splash Live as he talks about the local impact of Michigan being ranked number 6 in the country in terms of the best states for businesses by CNBC. It's the 4th time they've reached the top 10 in these honors in recent years. They're also 13th for workforce, 14th for quality of life, and 18th overall out of the 50 states for the economy. Jamar, all of that comes back to momentum for our small businesses in Oakland County and here in Greater West Bloomfield. So before we let you go, how can Oakland Thrive help these businesses take that momentum and make the most out of it for their present and future?
Well, that's the best question of the day right there. I think the way we offer our trainings and workshops and seminars that are dedicated to the different topics that are plaguing the small business community, whether it's AI, whether it's tax help, accounting help, whatever you can think of. Just when you go to the website, you'll be able to see our profiles. You'll see all the beautiful consultants in different areas, but you'll also be able to see our website and see the trainings that are going on, and even if there's a question that you have on AI or your business or how can Oakland Thrive help you, please feel free to give us a call, email, if you're on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We'll even send a pigeon to you. Whatever you need, we want to make sure that Oakland Thrive is here for you and in whatever capacity that we can. So different trainings and workshops that we offer is just the baseline of everything that we're doing to give everything back to the community to booster everything up from there.
Plenty of helpful resources are available on their website, oaklandthrive.org. You can also call them at 248-602-0040. Jamar, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.